Good morning, everybody. It's quite early still in the morning. I usually go to work at 9, so this is very early for me. I want to start with just telling telling a story about how we actually got this thing started. I was at a scene stage 1.5 years ago, talking on Data Innovation Summit on an inspirational stage, of course, because they're quite hardcore. And talking about people analytics, and after that, I sat down with Goran and told him, and this is something that's really lacking. I would like to go to a conference where I can hear hardcore stuff about people analytics from researchers or from speakers that have been actually doing these things that we dream about or talk about. So I left it there, and then 4 weeks later he called me and said, I'm doing it. So I'm a quite action-oriented guy, but this guy really beats me. So thank to you and to your whole team, Kenan and Sarandra, and all of you who have made it possible, actually. So with that said, I want to start this conference with some big words. And you might have heard these big words before, but I don't want to rush by because it's important. And are you ready? All right. So the world is changing. And it is changing quite rapidly, faster than ever. I don't know if you agree, and you don't have to agree. That's your prerogative. That's a hard word, actually. But because looking at it from a macro perspective, it might seem that we are actually standing still. We are living in a slow-motion world, right? But when we look at it from a micro perspective, things are running quite fast. And because we don't see it always. And I'm saying this, and it's always, I was thinking, am I really going to start with this cliche, talking about, the world is changing fast, da-da-da-da-da. But it is worth for us to reflect on it. Take a moment, reflect on it, say it, taste it, feel it, because it is actually true. And I also believe that the human evolution, as Goran was a little bit into it, is actually changing course a little bit. We are standing in a kind of where we're taking a leap forward again. It's not happening right now today, but it is going to happen. I mean, with machine learning and AI actually redefining what it means to be human. I've thought about it. I don't know if you thought about it. How will it look in 20 years? I will be a pensioner, or actually, but still, I'm thinking about it. What will I do? What will my kids do? So it's redefining what it means to be human. And looking at the world, more biological habitats and species are getting extinct than ever in our lifetime, and that's quite amazing because I didn't think it will happen. I didn't thought when I was a kid that it will happen in our lifetime. And you heard about the ice melting, right? All over the place, faster than anticipated by the researchers. So things are quite happening. It's changing. So what do we need to protect not just our race, but also our humanity? I think that's the most important question that we need to focus on. How do we save our humanity? And don't get me wrong again. I love change. Change is great. But we need to be prepared for the change. And the answer seems to be action. That's what I believe. According to my favorite author, he says that existence precedes essence. So think about it for a second. Existence precedes essence. What it means that first we exist, and then we define ourselves by actions. He says that without actions, we are just broken dreams. And it is, we need to act, and that's important, but we need to act on facts. And it struck me the other day that, in the Trumpian era, facts are merely a pale shadow of our reality today, actually. It's amazing that in a world where we have had more data than ever collected and mined in the human history, truth and evidence is being so devaluated. What is truth? What is actually truth or not? Facts bear no longer the same universal truth that they had a few years ago. So, and I think one of the strongest personal reasons why I created Weekli is actually because of these issues that I talked about. The adaptation that we need to do needs a grassroots movement. At the same reason, this has been a driving point for me and Goran and the rest of the team to actually create this event, to talk about how can we take action, how can we work with the facts and with data around people. So, and I believe that there is no better place than here with you to talk about it, because people, if we're going to start somewhere, this is the best place, because your employees, your people, spend 8 hours a day at work, and we should get the facts right. So, our ultimate goal is basically push out innuendos and hearsay and take back evidence-based and data-driven leadership all over the place. We cannot sit and wait for the politicians to fix it. That's usually what I say. We can't just sit and say, well, somebody else will fix it. It has to start somewhere. And I think the best place to start with actually working with data-driven leadership and looking at data when taking decisions about people is at work. Just like Edison tried more than 2 times to create a lamp and never gave up, we need to find ways to invent the future of people analytics. And that's what I hope that we get with us today. And he actually had a dream to lit up every dark corner of the world. And he did it. And I think we should have a dream as well, all of us here, all the speakers, to lit up every dark corner of our workplace, of our society, with truth, with facts, with being data-driven around it. You're going to hear some amazing speakers today. Talk about what they believe, what they have done in their professional life to promote data-driven initiatives. And they're going to give you practical tips and inspiration. So when you're leaving NPA later on the day, hopefully with a drink, after a drink, I want you to be inspired. At the same time, go home and feel that you got actually quite substantial facts and ideas about what you can do in your organization.
Thank you.